Hey guys, what is up? It's JT here with another video, and in this video I'll be giving you guys a life story. I haven't done one in a couple days. I've been out for a couple days. As I said in my last video, I moved, so sorry I haven't been keeping true to those daily uploads, but right now I'm back in the rhythm. Stay tuned for a vlog. I'll be probably posting a vlog soon, but without any further ado, let's get into the life story. I was getting pounded by my friend to do this life story for a while, and I'm finally doing it now. So this is for you, Gabby. He wanted to include his name too. Yes, his name's fucking Gabby, but yeah, that's what we call him. But anyways, so this is the time that I took probably the worst fucking acid I've ever taken in the history of life. It was some fake stuff, and this is right before I moved to Virginia. And for those of you guys who've been watching since day fucking one, 2 weeks ago, you guys know that I was living in Virginia for a little while, and then obviously I moved back here, but this takes place in Miami the day before I moved to Virginia, okay? So here it is. This is a little bit of a long life story, so stay with me. All right, so first time. Okay, so this happened, I want to say about a year ago, probably a year right on the dot. So pretty much I had been with, I'd been over at my friend's house for a little while, and I was like, you know what? This is my last day here. I think it'd be a really smooth move, to quote Chris Move, if you guys watch him, to take 4 tabs of acid, and just, you know, as a kicker, right before I moved, I figured that'd be a really good idea, just as, like, you know, as a summer kicker right before I move. That's what I figured, you know, right? So I've been looking all over the place for some acid, right? And my regular guy had ran out. He was gone, you know, and I wasn't going to wait for him again, because what happened was if I was going to wait for him, I would have been already gone. So that wasn't the move. So I was looking all over the place for someone, right? I finally find someone. It's actually these girls, and they're saying that they have this good stuff, and it's, you know, it's clear, it's all good. Mind you, I've never gotten off these girls before. I don't know. I'm making a lot of new moves, as Chris Smooth always says. So I'm making a lot of these new moves, and yeah, so I'm hitting up these girls. I've never bought them off before. I don't know anyone who has, so I'm breaking all the rules here that I always tell you guys. I'm breaking them all, but, you know, I wouldn't have those rules in the first place if I hadn't made mistakes. So be thankful, I guess. So yeah. And I end up going to these girls, and we end up at a Barnes & Noble's. Kind of sketchy, but not really. I mean, they come in small little packets, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But, yeah, I digress. So, I end up getting these tabs, and I come back to my friend's house. So, oh, yeah, I got them, right? So now I want to say it's like late afternoon, and I'm leaving the next day, and, you know, so I'm getting ready to take these things. I'm like, you know what? I should probably save them for tonight. And Gabby's like, all right, yeah, you know what? That sounds good. Let's invite some friends over and just kind of chill out. You know, we'll trip sit you and just see what the fuck happens. So we're all in agreement in this amazing idea. We're all just like, you know what, this sounds like a pretty good fucking idea. So, yeah, so I have these 4 tabs here, and I'm all excited. They're all, you know, they're white on white. They don't have any cool designs, unfortunately, because I love the fucking designs. But they didn't have any designs on them. No biggie. And, you know, I mean, you can't tell if they're real by just looking at them. You know, you can't tell. You have to take them. So let's skip to crunch time. So fast forward a couple hours. Now it's probably around 9 o'clock. And I'm like, you know what? It's time. Let's do this. Because I figure it's going to be 8 hours, so 8 after 9, my trip's probably going to end somewhere around the area of, I'm not good at math, but it's probably end somewhere overall, probably end at like 5 or 6, maybe, 8 to 12 hours, so might end around that time. So that was my thinking, and then I'll probably just go to sleep again, and then wake up at 12 or, you know, 1 or 2, and then I'll be set to go, right? Yeah, sure, I might have a little buzz, but I'll be good. So that was my thinking. Right, and it seemed pretty good. It seemed pretty logical, right? I mean, I'd done it before, and I know that it lasts 8 to 12 hours, so I thought that was a pretty good move, right? So, continue. I take these things, right? And I took them all 4 at once. That's what I did. I didn't wait. I just took all 4. I didn't, you know, take 1, see if it hit me, then took 2, and then took 3, 4. No. I took 4 at the same fucking time. I have the video of this on my private Instagram. I'm not going to give that out to you, but I'll probably put it on my main Instagram, so don't forget to follow that. I put it all at the end of my videos, and it's in the description as well. So be sure to follow my social media. But anyways, so I'll probably post it. So I take these 4 tabs, and immediately, as soon as I taste them, they tasted like cinnamony. It tasted like really fucking like cinnamon. I was like, what the fuck? Why do they taste so like, and like a spicy taste to it too. It was like spicy, and it was that moment I knew that Brandon fucked up. I knew at that moment that I was in for a hell of a fucking ride. I was actually nervous because I was thought, like, damn, I just fucking took 4 tabs of bad acid. I could die today. And I was so nervous. I was extremely nervous. I had no clue what the fuck was going to happen to me. I didn't know, but all I knew is I had a strap in. I didn't tell any of my friends that I took bad acid because that would have just ruined my trip. So I was like, you know what? maybe they put a little, a little spice in there. Maybe it was just so that it tastes a little better instead of just paper. Maybe, I was trying to be really optimistic with myself, just trying to lie to myself, just so that when the trip hit, that I was gonna be kind of okay. No, boys, it was not fucking okay. So, all right, so now we fast forward maybe 20 minutes, and now it's starting to hit me, and I get cold sweats and a fever, and I'm feeling like horrible. I'm feeling like shit, boys. And that's when I tell my friend Gabby, I'm like, Gabby, let's go watch some stuff. I need to go, I need to watch something to get my mind off this stuff because I'm getting fucked, right, at this point. And it's not pleasant. It's not like pleasant hallucinations. It's not a good trip at all. We're starting off at the worst trip ever. So we continue on. We're watching Breaking Bad, and I remember as soon as we put on Breaking Bad, that's when the hallucinations just kicked in. They just kicked in like a snap of a finger. They just kick in. And as soon as they kick in, I'm not feeling myself. I'm not good. I'm having a fever still. I have cold sweats up the yin-yang. It's not a good day for me, boys. It's not a good day. I'm looking at Breaking Bad, and I'm just like, this is so fucked. Like, I just can't stop thinking about how fucked this is. And, I'm all nervous and crap, as I said 20 times before. I'm just not good. I'm not in a good state of mind. So, now we go from Breaking Bad. We watch like 3 episodes. At this point, I am down Alice in Wonderland's rabbit hole. God is putting his fingers up my ass. I am completely fucked, okay? Anyways, so then Gabby decides, you know what? Let's go watch something scary. So I guess he figured if we watch something scary, it would be like a trip to remember. And boy, was it a trip to remember, because he put on this, it was on Netflix. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. I don't even remember that, but it's called Devil. I don't remember too much from the movie because I was just, tripping out. But what I do remember, the only thing I remember from the movie is like there was a part in the movie where they're in the elevator, and when they're in this elevator, some woman who's like an older woman turns around and she's possessed by some devil, and she has like black fucking eyes, and it was so scary. But anyways, as she turns around, she goes to talk to the the poor fuckers in the elevator to say that she's possessed and scare everyone else's pants off, right? At that moment, I look at her and I'm like, that's my fucking grandma. And she looked, I don't know, it was because of the trip, obviously, because of the acid. When I look at this woman, I'm like, this is my grandma. She's speaking to me. And I'm like, oh my God, my grandma's possessed. And it was just so bad. I mean, I start looking at this woman, and I just kept thinking of my grandma. And like, just imagine that, guys. Imagine like it was like a family member you knew that was possessed on TV talking to you. I mean, that's how scary it was. I was looking at this and I could not, and at that point I started screaming. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning and I keep screaming and screaming and screaming and screaming. So I'm screaming as loud as I can, like fucking just screaming the top of my lungs off. They just turned the movie off. I think they did. I don't know. I don't remember it too much, but I think they turned off the movie at that point, or maybe they let it go through, but I think they either paused it and let me calm down, or they just turned the movie off, right? They're getting a little tired now, and they want to go to sleep, and I'm just like, I can't talk well. I'm not in my state of mind. I'm not in the right. I can't think well. I'm not good at all. Brandon is not. I've had better days. Okay, I'm not doing well. We put on some like happy. I think we were watching. I think we started watching Finn and Jake or whatever. Oh, Adventure Time. That's what it's called. So I think we're watching Adventure Time at this point, and that's like kind of like trippy, but it's happy. It's kind of like happy trippy. It has some dark things to it. But I think we started watching Adventure Time. I think. I'm not entirely sure. We either watched Adventure Time or some anime. I don't know what the fuck we watched. But we watched something that was like anime. And as we're watching it, I get a little better, right? Here's the next part that really fucks me over, right? I kind of get over the whole grandma thing. I'm like, you know what? That's just the drugs. You're fine. Just calm down. Sit down in a chair and just fucking relax, right? So I sit down in this chair. And in Gabby's room, he has this chair that's like sawed off, like the leather was peeling off, and you could see like the cushiony part was coming out. But I said, hey, the chair nonetheless. It's kind of comfy if I was sober. But I'm in a tank top, and I can feel the back of my skin touching the ripped part of the leather. Oh my God, boys! What my mind ended up making the correlation to is because of the back of the chair or whatever, the back of the whatever, right, was peeled off. It felt like my skin was peeling off, and it was just like the back of my skin was peeling off, and I kept fidgeting out of there, and then next thing you know, I'm screaming again, and all my friends wake up like, Brian, what the fuck's wrong with you? I'm like, my skin's peeling off. It's peeling off the back of my back, like it's peeling off, and they're like, dude, you're fine, like your skin is right there, and I'm just like, no, it's peeling, and I couldn't, it wasn't like blood, I couldn't see blood or anything, it wasn't that bad, but the sensation was still there. It felt as as though my skin was coming off the back of my back. And obviously that was what was occurring. Obviously in my brain, that was what my brain was telling me. My skin is falling off and I must get out of this chair immediately. So I get out of the chair. And now I do the most strangest thing ever. I go from like, in my last video for the LSD, will LSD, kill you, right thing? I talk about rapid emotions, right? How your emotions are always swinging. So this is a prime example of that. And this season wasn't even real acid, but this is just a good indicator that hallucinogens in general or psychedelics will do this to you. So I go from freaking out about my skin, and I start jumping on the bed with an Australian accent. Right, I just start jumping on the bed, just jumping on everyone's feet, saying like, "Oh, you fucking wallabies," just like crikey. I start saying things in the most Australian accent ever, which is very trippy because the one thing I want to point out about that is this has only happened to me in this one experience, and call me a hippie, but I start talking this Australian accent. I've never been an Australian before, and I've never even attempted an Australian accent until that point in time. When I moved to Virginia, I befriended an Australian. Coincidence? I think not. I think acid must tell the future. My opinion. I don't know. I'm joking, but that was really fucking trippy. When I thought about that afterwards, I was like, holy shit, my trip just predicted the fucking future, right? Anyways, so I'm super nervous about this thing, and I'm just, the whole thing's getting really eerie, and then I kind of get my wits all together. I'm like, why the fuck are you talking Australian accent? So I sit back down, not in the chair. I sit back down in the bed, and everyone's just like all awake now, like, Brandon, are you fucking okay? I'm just like, no, I am not good at all. And I forgot to mention this. I don't know whether this happened later. I mean, my whole brain for scale of events are totally off. So I'm just kind of telling you things that I remember from the trip, but one may have happened before than the other. It's not in chronological order other than when I dosed, but otherwise everything's kind of out of whack for chronological order because I don't really know what happened when. But this happened at some point. I don't know if it was before the movie or after the movie or at the end, but I ended up going to the bathroom. And Gabby was in the bathroom as well, but he was in the shower. And he thought it'd be a really fucking great idea to scare the shit out of me, right? Which could have been the worst thing he could have done. And I don't know if I got scared. I just remembered that I was taking a piss, and as I go to wash my hands, the light turns on, and he's in the shower, and he goes, boo! Or he just like scares me. And I look at this, and I don't even know. I think I just gave him a blank stare. I don't know if I screamed, but I gave him a blank stare. But when I gave him a blank stare, he goes, oh, I'm sorry. Like, that was not a good idea. Like, he immediately regretted the fact that, I remember that clearly. I remember he apologized to me like 20 times, saying like, oh, okay, that wasn't a good idea. I shouldn't have scared him, right? But I sit back down. I'm just kind of like, okay, I got to get all my wits together. I got to get my stuff together. I couldn't possibly get my shit together, right? Now I remember this, though. I remember it was 3 o'clock in the morning, right? So the trip had only been going on for maybe like 5 hours at most, 5-6 hours. But all of a sudden, things just kind of felt normal again. They just kind of felt like okay. Like I felt like I was just all right, and that was it. Like I felt sober. So I'm like, I guess that's kind of weird. Like I couldn't talk too well. I was still intoxicated, but I wasn't nearly in the same fuck state of mind as I would before. I sit back down. Everyone at this point's asleep. The TV's off, and I'm just kind of accepting what's going on. I'm just kind of like, okay, let's just sit down. Let's not scream anymore. Let's just see what just calm down. And as I'm calming down, I literally laid down in bed and stared at the ceiling for, I gotta say, at least 7 hours. Because when I kind of woke up from the trip by just staring at the fucking ceiling all day or all night, it was already 11 o'clock and they were getting breakfast. At that point, I was like, holy shit, I literally zoned out and stared at the ceiling for 7 hours. So I did it for 7 hours, and I remember that vividly clear. I don't remember what I was thinking about, but I just remember staring at the ceiling for 7 hours. Because I remember it was like 3 o'clock, and then it was 11 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, oh my God, like I literally just slept through this whole thing. And they went up and they went to go eat pancakes and shit. I'm like, I still have to get my stuff together. And I was worried. Like I remember one of the things I was thinking about as I was staring into the ceiling was that I'm going to get arrested. Their parents are probably pissed at me. They're going to know, like, they're going to know what's happening. I'm going to get arrested. And, I was thinking, like, the worst case scenario. It couldn't have been further from the truth. I mean, his parents were fine. They didn't say anything. I mean, they figured it was, like, a couple boys over the house, so naturally kids were going to be screaming. So I guess it was what I thought it was. But they ended up finding out. So now here's the post, and I don't know if I should put this in the second video, but you know what, I won't. I'll treat you guys. So at this point now, let's fast forward a couple more hours. I say my goodbyes. I go in the pool. We just relax, and the hallucinations are gone, but I feel my head just has a pounding headache. I don't feel well. Now it's time to meet up with my father. So we go to this place and we're staying at a hotel in Miami, getting ready to leave. We're just gonna stay because we already sold our house and we're getting ready to move, and we're in this hotel. So as we're in this hotel, we just decide, you know what, let's go get something to eat. So we go to get something to eat, and as we're eating, my dad goes, you know what, let's before we even eat, but we're gonna go sit down on the fucking table and go order our food. So we're ordering our food, and my dad, the waiter comes and he goes, all right, what do you guys want? And I realized I'd been staring at the menu for 20 minutes and I couldn't read. So I'd been staring at the menu for 20 minutes, or whatever, however long it took to order until the waiter came, and I'd just been daydreaming. I didn't think of anything. I couldn't read. And then he goes, what do you want? And then, my dad's like, Papa, what are you gonna get? My dad calls me Papa, yes. But he goes, what are you gonna get? I'm like, I just start thinking of something like really generic. I'm figuring they must have it. So I'm like, cheeseburger. He was like, how would you like that? Whatever. I'm just like, fried. And he's like, we don't sell fried cheeseburgers. So I was just thinking of the most generic things ever. I ended up getting through that, okay? And as I get through that, I realized, you know what, Brandon, you need to sleep. You haven't slept in at least 36 hours. You need to go to sleep, right? So what ended up happening is after dinner, or after, our little brunch lunch shit, I'm like, you know what, Dad, I'm going to go upstairs into the hotel room. I'm going to go to sleep. I did not sleep at all last night. He's like, yeah. He's like, I think that's a good idea, right? So he goes out, and I just went to sleep, and I wake up, and I felt like $100. I felt fine, rejuvenated, and I was glad I didn't fucking die. But moral of the story is, guys, don't buy off dealers you're not familiar with, or you're not familiar with anyone who's ever bought off of them. Make sure this stuff is real. But go buy yourself a fucking test kit for yourself. I mean, there's so many ways that this could have been averted, but, I went wrong. I fucked up really hard. But I hope you guys enjoyed this life story. I'm staying true to those daily uploads so far. I hope I can continue it. As I said, I'm in Miami now again, so I have to, I'm a little busy here. I got a lot of stuff going on, but I hope to give you some vlogs at least and kind of just give you some stuff in the meanwhile. But I'm going to be uploading weekly, though, of course. I will be uploading, of course, but it's going to be a little slower than how it was in the past 2 weeks when I was in Virginia, when I had a lot of time on my hands and I could upload. But right now, it's getting a little stingy, so I can't upload every day, but I will try. Needless to say, guys, that's my life story. That's it, guys. I highly don't recommend for you guys to ever do anything like that whatsoever, from the beginning to the end. I don't recommend doing any of that shit. But if you will, just be careful out there. And smash the like button if you guys have enjoyed this video. Leave down some comments, questions, concerns, suggestions, whatever. I love the comments. I said every single fucking video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video as always. Peace.
Ready to pop, drop top, fuck cops, and I'm never gonna stop. Cop drop in my mouth, cause I'm sick with the shit that I spit out the lip, ripping dip with the clip. The whole team gotta hit real quick.